Hello, everybody. I'm gonna talk a little bit about basic XC flying from Edith's Cap. So Edith's Cap is in Luray, and the start is right over here in the bend. Um, the winds typically are like southeast. There you go. And so you see that the whole ridge here is a good source to keep on flying um, with that southeast wind. Now you will see a convergence along this ridge, but also along the ridge of Woodstock here, which is actually a double ridge. And Woodstock itself is over here. That's the launch. Now the valley in between sometimes also works. So you have a convergence in the valley. So if you go to the north, you have choices. So you can stay on the first ridge where always Bentonville gets a little bit tricky. And also over here where you have uh, the end of the valley, it gets tricky as well. Depends, how high you get. So you can choose this first ridge. No, there's a lot of trees, but if you're above the ridge and the wind is not too strong, I think you always can reach a safe landing field. If you're on top of this ridge and the wind is too strong and you cannot make it in the front, what you do is you're gonna go fly into Fort Valley and you can land along Fort Valley. There's not a lot of cell phone coverage. There's only cell phone coverage here in the center, as far as I know, a little bit in the north. But the radio coverage should be okay. Of course, you can also fly the Woodstock Ridge and go to the north. You can fly it all the way to the end. That's a good option because it's a good convergence. Um, Going into the Woodstock or the Shenandoah Valley, you can do as well, but do that only when you have clouds. Otherwise, it gets really tricky. You will see a cloud convergence here on the ridge most of the times and blue in the valley. That means stay on the ridge. Now, how do you decide how you're going to fly? You start your XC. Now, Kennedy Peak is always a very good source to go up. George likes that a lot. You can go really high. You can also go straight over the back, and that is really tricky because these and the back, these mountains, they do work, but it's super tricky. I advise you to go up and to fly to King's Crossing. King's Crossing is this area over here where the roads come together. That area works really well. From there, you can go to Edinburgh Gap to the rocks over here. That's a good point. And you always try to get to cloud base. That means when you leave this ridge over here, you want to be at cloud base to go into the valley or to the Woodstock Ridge. So go always as high as possible. So if you see cloud base is 6,000 or 5,000 feet, don't jump at 1,200 feet, at 4,000 feet. It's not a good strategy. You need some luck to stay up. So cloud base, King's Crossing, Edinburgh Gap, the next thermal, and then you can continue the ridge. It should be solid, should be working. And here at the end with the southeast wind, you can jump and you can fly over Strasbourg, and then you can maybe land in this area before Start Tannery. And it's easy to get the ride back to 81, and I'm back to Edith's Gap. So yeah, this is my first introduction of flying your first XC from Edith's Gap. Good luck.